And we're back. I'm Jim Bradfield, and this is Ever-Changing Technology here on Now Media Television. Welcome back to Ever-Changing Technology. Loving what you're watching? Don't miss a moment of Ever-Changing Technology or any of your favorite Now Media TV shows, live or on demand, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Now Media TV app on Roku or iOS and enjoy instant access to our full lineup of bilingual programming that's both in English and Spanish. You prefer to listen on the go? Well, catch the Now Media podcast version of the show right on the Now Media TV website at www.nowmedia.tv. From business and breaking news to lifestyle, culture, and everything in between, Now Media TV is streaming 24/7, ready whenever you are. I'm here with Dr. Allen Badeau, and now we're shifting to one of the most urgent issues, something that he and I have talked about quite a bit: cybersecurity. Online threats are growing every day, and many people feel like criminals are always one step ahead. So viewers worry about hackers, Allen, scams, stolen information, and things like that. This segment's going to explore how criminals are using AI and how AI is also our best defense. So, Allen, how are criminals already using AI to trick people or break into systems?
Well, they've been using parts of AI for better than 10 years. Now, not the ChatGPT types of things, but there were some automation capabilities, cyber attacks, those kind of things that have been going on for a while. And the hackers were the ones that were leading the forefront on that. And, the interesting thing though is that now with ChatGPT, with some unfiltered large language models, and I'm not going to tell you which ones will do this, but you can actually ask them questions and it can give you better part of 90% of a response that could enable some folks to create them on their own. Now, there's a lot of steps that go into that, but it's really can turn somebody that doesn't have those kind of skill sets anymore into somebody that can quickly learn them and deploy them and get them out there. Now, again, there are a lot of things in between that would allow folks to do that, but it's really just that ability for it to just tell you whatever you want and try to give you an answer in many cases, and that's a big issue. And those folks have been really taking advantage of that, either from a spoofing perspective, whether it's your personal health information, whether it's financial information. It's really just allowed them to generate mass quantities of these types of materials, get it out there, and hope that somebody hooks onto it. And obviously they are, otherwise they would have stopped doing it. And so it's just really speed and ability to deploy it anywhere is what they're taking advantage of.
Yeah, so what's the simplest way AI can help protect their personal information then, especially if they're not very tech savvy?
Well, email, for instance, there are certain things that cybersecurity professionals do to try to protect, the ecosystem. For example, there's threat detection algorithms that they're using. There's so many different real-time activities that they're monitoring. There's insider threat things. All those different capabilities of a true cyber company. They're trying to do that. What they can't do is monitor what goes on in between here of people, right? So people get in hurries. We know that everybody's busy, but all it takes is one person to click on an email that can launch a virus, it can launch a Trojan horse, it can launch whatever that is, and really wreak havoc on everything around them. Or click on something, enter their personal information because it looks like their company stuff, and boom, there goes all your usernames, your passwords for your company or your financial and banking information, right? And so that's how AI can protect people. But really it will come down to training, using AI for training, trying to get folks more engaged, do things more, spot checking of folks, periodic checks, so that if somebody does click on something that they get a little bit of extra training, that kind of stuff, it can really help.
Yeah. So what happens then if businesses don't invest in AI powered security and training? I mean, is that what you're talking about? That it's just going to blow it up?
It could. It could. The challenge that, we are seeing a really an evolution of how hackers are going after information. So they're less interested in, your personal information per se, more interested in trying to hack into a hospital and encrypt their entire database and then get ransom money
Mhm.
for it, right? We've
Yeah.
seen that over and over and over again, and it's institutions that we thought were very well protected. Whether it was the insurance, whether it's some banking, whether it's a hospital, even gaming, for heaven's sakes. And we always thought that those systems were taken care of pretty well. They are, using those types of things to do that. And so, but if you look at the root cause, it's always the same. Somebody gave off their badge, somebody typed in a password, somebody did something like something else that you could prevent if they had the proper training. You can invest and you or not invest. You can take the risk if you don't invest, if you don't train your people, but it's only a matter of time, especially as you get bigger. Your attractiveness gets much higher if you are become more of a known quantity, you are more successful. I don't think I would take that risk. So you got to do something. You really have to.
Yeah, understood. And then can AI predict those attacks before they happen, or is that just something that is going to hopefully be a part of it in the future?
Well, there are some things that AI can do. It can look at you can have it scan your environment and say, I have weaknesses, holes here, here, and here. And so it can help you with compliance. It can help you with making sure your systems are up to date. It can help you from a training perspective to say, oh, you know what, Alan clicked on this email and it took to the bank account and for the company, and guess what? He entered his details and boom, that's a problem. He needs some retraining, right? And
Yeah.
so it can automate that piece. So there's a lot of things that it can do. What it can't do is say, you know what, we're going to get hit by this kind of attack. And I think it's getting better. It's giving us more information, but we still can't predict which one, when, and where it's going to hit us. And so the only thing that you can do is just make sure you're prepared.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good advice. And we really appreciate it. And so, Alan, if viewers want to keep up with your insights on cybersecurity and AI, where can they find you online?
They can go to my LinkedIn account, and it's just LinkedIn, Allen Badeau, or they can go to my website, allenbadeau.ai, or they can watch my Now Media TV show AI Today on Wednesdays, and we talk about some of this stuff and we deep dive, and I give them some examples. A couple weeks ago, gave an example how you can see if your email is getting spoofed or not just by using ChatGPT. So we try to hit a lot of broad topics there.
Awesome, man. All right. So up next, we're going to be looking at AI and robotics, factories, warehouses, that kind of thing. So we'll see what it means for the future of work.